Welcome to the chemistry class, students. I hope all are fine and staying safe in your homes. Bible verse says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and future." Jeremiah 29:11. Students, I hope you have all completed your assignments. In this video, you will be learning about next chapter. In our last video, we have completed chapter 1 and today we are going to start with new chapter. The name of this chapter is The Structure of the Atom. In this video, that is in this chapter, you will be learning about the structure of atom, the subatomic particles of atom, and how these particles are produced and its characteristics, and also the persons who have discovered atom. In this video session, you will be learning about the following topics: how the idea of atoms emerged, the view of Democritus and Lycopos, characteristics of cathode rays, relative charge and mass. Children, we all know that everything that is surrounded us is made up of matter, and this matter is nothing but the building block of atom. So, matter is made up of atom, and this atom is an indivisible one. We cannot divide this atom into an smallest particle, and this atom is made up of subatomic particles like electron, protons and neutrons. As you can see, protons, electrons and neutrons of atom in this picture. So here you can see this is the atom, and you can see electron revolving around the nucleus, which is placed in the center, and inside nucleus you can see proton and neutrons are present. The next topic we are going to see is how the idea of atom emerged. The first person who gave idea about atom is Maharishi Kannada. He is the one who invented atomic theory at least 2500 years before Dalton, that is approximately 6th century BC. He is an Indian philosopher and he gave the idea about atom. He stated that the smallest indivisible form of matter is paramanu. He even explained the dimension, motions and even the chemical reactions of paramanu and its compound form. You can see the picture of Maharishi Kannada. He is an Indian philosopher. He says that matter is not continuous, made up of tiny particles called paramanus. So param means ultimate or final. He says that matter is not continuous. And then he also states that it is made up of small particles, and he called those particles as paramanus. He also states that two or more paramanus combine to form a bigger particles. So 2 or 3 paramanu, they combine together and they form a bigger particle. This is his idea about atom. The next person is the view of Democritus and Lycopos. Let us see what Democritus and Lycopos says about atom. Democritus is an he is a Greek philosopher. So he gave his idea in 5th century BC, that is around 500 BC. He says that atoms are small hard pieces of one type of material. You can see the picture of Democritus. You can just imagine that you are taking a piece of paper and cutting those paper into a fine tiny particles. When we cut those papers using scissor into a fine tiny particle, we will be reaching a stage where we will not able to cut those tiny paper particles, and that tiny particle is said to be atom. Similarly, Democritus also says that on dividing a piece of substance, one could ultimately get a particle and that could not be divided further. So he named atoms as ultimate particles, whereas in Maharishi Kannada he says atom has paramanu, and Democritus called atoms as ultimate particles. The next person who gave information about atom is Dalton. He gave Dalton theory. In 1803, he is an English chemist and he gave atomic theory. And his theory says 6 categories. The first one is element are made up of very small particles of matter called atoms. That is, we know that element is made up of small particles of matter, and that we know that atoms are building block of matter. So he says that there is a small particle present in the matter and we call it as atoms, and these atoms are indivisible. So we cannot split or cut this atom into 2 or 3 or several parts. So it is an indivisible one. The third point he says is the atom of an element have a same weight. So when we take same element atom, for example, we are taking 2 hydrogen atom, and when we weight those atom, the weight of those atom will be same. The fourth point he says is the atom of different element have different weights. So now let us consider you are taking 2 atoms. Example, hydrogen and oxygen. When we weight those 2 atoms, hydrogen and oxygen, you can see different weights. So when the atom of same element will have same weight and different element will have different weights. The fifth postulate is it is the atom of element that take part in chemical reaction, and this fifth point says that the atoms that are present in element will take part in chemical reaction. So these atoms are the important thing which will take part when the chemical reaction takes place. The last point he says is the atom of an element combine in simple numerical ratio with those of other element to form a compound. So here you can see the ratio that is given for NO, NO2, N2O, N2O2, N2O5. So from this you can able to understand that the atom of element they are combined in simple ratio. For NO, the ratio is 1:1. Similarly, for NO2, it is 1:2. This is what the sixth point says. The atom of an element combine in simple numerical ratio with those of other element to form a compound. This NO is an compound. So by this we can able to define atom. An atom is defined as an smallest part of an element that takes part in a chemical reaction. I repeat this definition. An atom is defined as the smallest part of an element that takes part in chemical reaction. The next important topic we are going to see is subatomic particle. In 19th century, they found that this atom has subatomic particles like electron, proton and neutron. You can see in the picture how the electron, proton and neutron are located in an atom. These are the subatomic particles of atom. Electron. Under ordinary condition, gases are bad conductors, but when we give low pressure and high voltage, this bad conductors will be converted into good conductors. I repeat this. At ordinary temperature, gases are bad conductors. When we give low pressure and high voltage, the gases will become good conductors. The next topic is about cathode ray. Here in this picture you can see the discharge tube, or we call it as cathode ray tube, and it is made up of a long glass tube. Here in this picture you can see a glass tube. I hope it is clear in this picture. So you can see the glass tube, and at the end you can see there are two metal plates, and they are called as electrodes, and these metal plates are connected to high voltage. So here in the end you can see the high voltage, and the electrode connected to negative terminal is called as cathode, and the electrode connected to positive terminal is called as anode. I repeat this. The electrode connected to positive terminal is called as anode, and the electrode connected to negative terminal is called cathode. And also you can see exhaust pump connected to side tube, that is the vacuum pump. This is used in order to lower the pressure of gas. So when we lower the pressure and when we give high voltage, what happens? The gases will become good conductors. And here we are using mercury, and the pressure in the mercury is, that is the pressure applied to the tube which contains mercury is 0.01 to 0.001 mm. So when pressure and high voltage is given to the tube, the cathode rays will start glowing, and this is called fluorescence. So in this picture you can see the glowing fluorescence, and this ray is called as cathode ray. So here you can see green color, that color is said to be fluorescence, and this is the cathode ray. So cathode tube is made up of glass, and it has two metal plates. One is cathode, another is anode, and it is connected to vacuum pump, and this cathode and anode is connected to high voltage generator. And when we give low pressure and high voltage, the mercury present in the tube, uh, it will start glowing, and it forms the ray, and this ray is said to be cathode ray. Next, let us see the characteristics of cathode ray. J.J. Thomson was the person who gave this characteristics of cathode ray. The first characteristic is the originate at the cathode and travel in straight line. I have told you the ray will be formed, right? When current and pressure is given, the current will be, that is the ray will be formed, and this ray will travel in a straight line. So the shadow will falls on the object, and so the ray will travel in a straight line. This is the first characteristic of cathode ray. The second characteristic is cathode rays are stream of particles. You can see there is a wheel placed in between the cathode ray. When current is passed, the wheel will start rotating and some particles will strike the plate of the wheel. Okay, so when it strikes, what happens? The wheel will start rotating. This is the second characteristic. So the cathode rays are stream of particles. The third point is particles constituting cathode rays are negatively charged. So here you can see the cathode rays are negatively charged. As it goes and attracts positive side, it forms the negatively charged. So the cathode rays bend towards positive plates. Third point is the particles constituting cathode rays are negatively charged, and this is because cathode ray bend towards positive plates. The fourth characteristic is the particles constituting cathode rays are alike and they do not change with gas, the electrode, and kind of glass used for making tube. So the particle constituting cathode rays are alike. They are all same and they do not change with gas. And this cathode rays are universal constituent of all atom, and they are named as electron in the year 1897. So this cathode rays are named as electron, which is an subatomic particle of atom. Let us see the relative charge and mass of electron. So here you can see the relative charge and mass of proton, neutron and electron. For proton it is +1, the charge is +1 and relative mass is 1, and for neutron the relative charge is neutral or 0 and relative mass is 1, and for electron the relative charge is -1 and relative mass is 1 by 1840. So here for mass of electron it is negative and it has -1 unit, and so it is negligible. So it is the mass of hydrogen. Electron has the relative mass of hydrogen, which is 1 by 1840. This is all about electron, and we know that the cathode ray formed in the discharge tube is called electrona. Children, in this class we have learned the idea of atom emerged. Under that topic we have learned about Maharishi Kannada. He was an Indian philosopher. He was an Indian philosopher, and he says that is he called particle as paramanu. Then we have seen the view of Democritus and Lycopus. He gave his idea in 5th century and he was Greek philosopher. He called atom as ultimate particle. Then we have seen 6 characteristics of cathode ray, and at last we have seen relative charge and mass of electron. Cathode rays, that is the electron are produced in cathode ray tube, or we call it as discharge tube. The assignment for this video is discuss the characteristics of cathode rays, explain Dalton atomic theory. Children, you have to learn these 2 questions and you have to write it. I hope you all understood the topics. Meet you all in the next video. Thank you.